Hello and welcome. This is Sports Debate, where we give you a platform to place your mouth where your passion is, to show off your sport knowledge, and all arguments are spot on. I am Solomon Ajiziogo. Faced with uncertainty in the goalkeeping department of the senior men's team of Nigeria, Coach Genot Rohr has reportedly asked Vincent Enyeama to reconsider his unceremonious retirement from the Super Eagles. This follows the exit of Enyeama's successor, Carl Ikeme, due to illness. Since Ikeme's medical leave, Coach Rohr has called up 5 goalkeepers and used 3 of them for matches. Dan Akpe of Chippa United of South Africa, Ikechukwu Ezenwa, now of Enyeama in the Nigeria Professional Football League and captain of the home-based Super Eagles. Now, Dele Ajiboye of Plateau United, Dele Alampasu of Portuguese club CD Farense, and recent revelation Francis Uzo of Spanish La Liga side Deportivo La Coruña. Many have said these are all still learning the ropes and so do not have confidence in them. But Enyeama hasn't been in goal for some time, having been injured and declared surplus requirement in Lille. We ask, should Coach Rohr continue to pressure Enyeama to return to the Super Eagles, considering he has ample World Cup experience from 2002? That's our topic today, and you can join the discussion at Sporting Solo TVC or at TVC News NG, or better still, at TVC Connect, hashtag TVC Sports Debate. Joining me on the debate podium are 2 gentlemen, one you know, but the other is making a debut. He's appearing on the show for the first time, and so we're going to cap him. Let's hope that he proves worthy of picking or putting on the jersey today. So I'll start with the new man on the show, Adedayo Olawuyi.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to Sports Debate.
Nice to be here today.
And he's up against, well, he's a regular face, Damilola Onifade.
Solomon, it's nice to be here once again, and let's slug it out. Let's slug it out.
Well, all the goalkeepers, it's been said, are a bit untested in a way, and there's not much confidence in them. And so Genot Rohr feels, okay, maybe we should rack up the pressure on Enyeama to come. And some say, no, he should remain retired. But you are saying he should come back because the others are really, really untested.
They are. I mean, you said it yourself in your intro. In this country today, if you want to talk about a goalkeeper with World Cup experience, a goalkeeper with Nations Cup experience, a goalkeeper that has won laurels, both individual and team laurels, we have just one available, and that is Vincent Enyeama.
Available?
And, yeah, in terms of the only one that we can pick on as a Nigerian goalkeeper that fits those bills. I mean, you've been to 2 World Cups. If you are that terrible as a goalkeeper, you won't be there. And the fact is also, at 35, because I know that's one other issue that might pop up at 35, he's getting old, but look at goalkeepers around the world. At 35, goalkeepers are still waxing stronger. And so all the variables favors this young man. And as far as I'm concerned, Genot Rohr is doing the right thing by putting the pressure in Enyeama, knowing fully well that his retirement was not something of a will from him. It was under circumstances that you and I know very well. We are not really palatable for us to start recounting. And so if you put such pressure on him that Enyeama, this country still needs you. This is a country you have served very well. He has played for Nigeria 101 times. And so he's the most capped Nigerian player, whether both outfield or as a goalkeeper. And by experience, I think he should go to the World Cup, because if you are going to have any chance at the World Cup at all, you need a goalkeeper that can command his box.
Very lengthy introduction. Your introduction on this matter.
Well, I don't think Enyeama should be going to the World Cup. First of all, he lacks match sharpness. Hasn't played for a long while. Since the beginning of the season, he hasn't played. So that's quite a long time to lose everything, your senses as a player. You need quite a number of matches to have your senses to play. Enyeama is a legend, no doubt. No one is taking that fact for him. But him leaving the Super Eagles was because of his indiscipline to the current and incoming coach at that time. That's Sunday Olise. So you don't expect to bring such a player who is not going to bring. He was the captain there, and he was not able to bring stability to the team, which he should do. Even if you have issues with the coach, you should also be able to be disciplined as a senior member of the squad. So I don't think Enyeama they should give the other goalkeepers a chance to prove themselves and see which one can go to the World Cup and be our #1 at the World Cup.
Solomon, he said something, I'm going to pick him up from there. When did Enyeama leave the Super Eagles? Enyeama left the Super Eagles over 2 years ago. Yes. And then you are still saying we should give the other goalkeepers to prove themselves. If they've not been able to prove themselves in 2 years, they can't do it in 6 months. That's the point. If they've done it over the last 2 years, Genot will not be talking about bringing Enyeama back. So the issue of they proving themselves, and they can't go to the World Cup and prove themselves. The World Cup is the highest level. We tried Akpeyi. You saw the scandalous error Akpeyi made against Argentina. A goalkeeper of that level, dropping the ball, outside, you are holding the ball outside of your box. That's too elementary. That's something that an under-15 should do, and you should pull him out of the game. And Genot did the right thing by substituting to save him the embarrassment of making more errors. And that's not the first time. We saw Zenwag leading into, after dropping Akpeyi, leading into the World Cup, the qualifiers. It was shaky, especially against Zambia and even the last game, and even against Algeria. It was pretty shaky. So that's on the African continent. You saw him at Wafu. It wasn't particularly spectacular. He considered 4 goals even in the final. And that's probably his biggest challenge as far as the national team is concerned till date. He has not shown us that going to the World Cup is the goalkeeper we can rely on. You want to mention Uzo. Uzo that was, yes, he took his opportunity quite right. He had 2 opportunities because the first choice for Deportivo was injured, and he kept quite well. But then, is he ready to keep for the Super Eagles? This is not under 20.
These are players that have not been given enough times. They are either moving them around and around. You have to put someone there, install the person there, and then show trust in the person.
Can I remind you?
That is how
Can I remind you that Enyeama didn't even have the chance of 3 outings before convincing us that he's the next big
because
thing.
We didn't have anyone there.
We did have, but he had just 1 chance. And
but as now we don't have anyone there.
We are talking about an Ezeuwa that has had more than 10 chances.
You need someone to be able to.
He has not had enough chance.
You need someone to be able to talk to the back line, to be able to communicate
that's
well.
The point, and that's what Enyeama would do.
Enyeama has not played with them for 2 years plus.
Uzo will not do that.
Enyeama does not understand this back line.
Does not understand what?
So you need constant understanding of the back line.
On which back line?
Of the current back line.
Which one? Do you know how many back lines Enyeama played alongside while playing for the Super Eagles?
That was then. This is 2 years now.
Let me remind you. At Korea Japan 2002, who were the back line? The defenders that we had. We had Taribo. We have who again? Isaac.
Joseph Yobo.
We have Joseph Yobo there, and then you have Udeze around that period. Over time, that team keeps changing. As at the time we won the Nations Cup,
Nigeria's defense was never settled. We can never say our defense was never settled.
Our defense was never settled.
Yes, it was
Don't forget that within that period we won three bronze medals at the Nations Cup. We won silver and then 1 gold.
We won bronze medals, we won
gold. 1 gold, and our defense was never
but our defense in the World Cup, we never had a steady team, a steady defense. That is one of the major issues. You need to have a steady team.
It was when Enyeama was in this team that we were able to equal our record of finishing in the World Cup on the round of 16.
Can we also see this? Enyeama is a legend of Nigerian football, but
no doubt.
He's not as fine-tuned as the current goalkeepers of the world.
Whoa! Who is more fine-tuned than Enyeama in the current Super Eagles setup?
He's the best we can get.
That's the point. That is why he should come back.
Has passed. We need to install younger players.
How can you tell me Enyama's time has passed at 35?
We need to install younger players.
If Italy had made it to the last to this World Cup,
a single app in Lille this season.
He has not made it. Why? Because he's injured. And don't forget that the Super Eagles as a team, what the NFF has shown,
we can't take someone
if he's injured.
So why
do we?
We need someone
even if he recovers now. If he was injured and he couldn't play,
to get back into the team,
how will he be sharp for the World Cup?
Yes.
In any case, in 2002, for the first time, he played for the Super Eagles in a friendly game, and then 5 months later, he was at the World Cup.
Yeah.
So why can't we do same for Uzo, or for Alampasu, or for Ezeuwa?
Solomon, this is the point. The scenarios are quite different. And I repeat again, you said it yourself. Enyama's first break into the Super Eagles was our last friendly at home against Kenya at the National Stadium, Lagos here. We all saw that game, and it was brilliant. And then the next opportunity he had was at the World Cup, the last game after we've been bundled out. And he made some spectacular saves. The most spectacular one was the one against Paul Scholes, that fantastic shot that he punched into the pole.
Was it Paul Scholes or David Beckham?
It was Paul Scholes.
Paul Scholes.
It was Paul Scholes. Now, that was how brilliant Enyeama is. Just 2 chances, and the whole country was convinced that he's good enough. Ezeuwa has had more than 5, 10.
Ezeuwa is not the man for this
then, okay, who is your goalkeeper?
Francis Uzo should be... Francis Uzo.
Fran what?
He's a young developing goalkeeper which needs
somebody
support.
that was not even your first choice at junior level.
But what he has been given, the same chance that Enyeama was given,
maybe
he was given that.
Maybe you do not
know.
That was in the same team that have as the success Enyeama and Alampasu. He was actually the second choice behind Alampasu. So if you are even going to pick a goalkeeper from that team, it will most likely be Alampasu. Alampasu is even keeping in his club more than Uzora is doing. Uzora is a second choice goalkeeper.
But when he was given the chance,
tell me of the 32 nations going to the World Cup that will take a second choice to the World Cup as their first choice.
Argentina will take a second choice goalkeeper.
Who is he?
Sergio Romero.
And he's better than our Enyeama. Is this
it's
fantastic?
better than Enyeama now because
is it fantastic?
It's not as fantastic.
Is it fantastic? You know why Argentina will go with Romero? You know why Argentina will go to Romero?
Because they don't have a choice.
Go with Romero?
Yes.
Because he had World Cup experience. Even though his second choice, they will take him. He was at the last World Cup and he got to the final.
Yeah.
And so that will qualify him to go unless they can
because
prove that
he
they have a
understood
better
the back line. He was the one that was there from this thing.
You understood
from
what?
the qualifiers. Romero was the one that kept for Argentina for the qualifiers to the World Cup. That is why you need to bring some. The qualifiers have passed.
They are overlooking the fact that he is a second choice. And don't also forget, he is a second choice to a goalkeeper that is in the top 3 of the best in the world. And so you can excuse him. His second choice to David De Gea. Is Uzora's second choice to Thibaut Courtois or to Gigi Buffon? He's not. He's not even second choice to, what's this, Juventus second choice goalkeeper. Szczesny. He's not even second choice to Szczesny. So what are you saying? The point I am making is this.
Enyeama is currently
second
choice goalkeeper also.
Listen,
because he's out of favor.
He's not. You said he's injured.
He's injured, but he's still
they signed a new coach that declared him surplus to the to requirement, but the coach has been fired. So as at this moment, you can't call him second choice. He's injured until he's back and he can compete for shirt. And if the current coach also drops him, that's when I will agree second choice. At this moment, that statement was being surplus to requirement is no longer valid because the man that made that declaration is no longer with the club.
Well, gentlemen, it's been heated debate here. It's been calmer, you know, like gentlemen, you know, trying to marshal out the point. And the topic today is, should Coach Genot Rohr keep up the pressure on Vincent Enyeama to return to the national team and be the goalkeeper of choice for the World Cup? Or should he just leave him retired and allow the younger goalkeepers take their chances? Adedayo Olawuyi here says he should remain retired and Francis Uzoho should take the place. Not even Dele Alampasu or Ikechukwu Ezenwa or Daniel Akpeyi. He prefers the youngest Francis Uzoho. Well, but then Damilola Onifade here says no. Enyeama should come back because that is the only goalkeeper at the moment with a World Cup experience. Not even the Il Kali Keme has that sort of experience. And so we should bring him back because we need him. Well, we've done that before. We brought back Peter Rufai in 1998 and we all saw what happened. But what do you think? Should Genot Rohr keep up the pressure on Enyeama to return? You can be part of this discussion by sending your tweets to me at Sporting Solo TVC or at TVC News NG or better still at TVC Connect, hashtag TVC Sports Debate. It is still Sports Debate with me, Solomon Adjuziogo. And the topic we are looking at today is should Coach Genot Rohr or technical advisor Genot Rohr of the Super Eagles keep up the pressure on Vincent Enyeama to return to the Super Eagles, considering that of the 5 goalkeepers we have and have tested for in the Super Eagles, Ikechukwu Ezenwa, Dan Akpeyi, Dele Alampasu, we've caught up Dele Ajiboye, and, well, the latest sensation, they say, Francis Uzoho. Well, there's been not so much confidence in these goalkeepers and no World Cup experience. Damilola Onifade here says Vincent Enyeama should return because he's the only one that can, operate at that level. But, well, our young Adedayo Olawuyi here favors the young, and it is time for the young to grow, to shine and to grow. He says, no, Francis Uzoho, Enyeama should remain retired. But what do you think? should Enyeama remain retired? And should Genot Rohr just stop disturbing him? In 1998, Peter Rufai came back. Well, Nigeria got to the second round. You know, so you can send your tweets to me to be part of the discussion at Sporting Solo TVC or at TVC News NG, or better still at TVC Connect, hashtag TVC Sports Direct. So, Uzo, how many matches has he kept? Even in Deportivo La Coruña, he's not in the first squad. He only got his chance because somebody got injured.
And showed his potential and his capabilities.
But has he taken up the #1 shirt in Deportivo?
You get your chances gradually as a young goalkeeper. You need to gather experience. A lot of young goalkeepers started like that. Gather the experience.
Keyword, he needs to do what? Gather. Enyeama does not need to gather. That's the key word there.
But Enyeama's time has passed.
Enyeama's time has
2 years
passed.
after, you can't just install someone into the team.
Has not passed. You cannot
2 years after.
It is very unfair to say a player's time has passed because he's injured.
You can't just bring someone 2 years after into a team.
It is
unfair to people who have proved themselves. Who has brought us here
today? Mikel Obi did not go to South Africa 2010. Why? Because he's injured. It's like somebody now declaring as far back as 2010 that Mikel's time has passed because he didn't go to the World Cup because he's injured.
Mikel got constant games.
And Solomon, you keep emphasizing the fact that we brought Rufai back. I know where you're going. The point is we brought a Rufai that was on holiday.
Enyeama is currently practically
not on holiday.
So if
Enyeama is in the gym
match
trying to be fit.
nothing.
And he's in the gym trying to be fit.
Enyeama cannot on holiday. You can't just bring someone to
Enyeama is not on holiday.
2 years after
a goalkeeper in 98 that was on holiday. It's a different scenario completely. A goalkeeper that was on holiday that has not kept for us for more than 2 years. Then and was not particularly as active as Enyeama has been.
People that took us into the World Cup, people who played throughout the World Cup qualifiers, Akpeyi, Uzo, Ezewa, they should be scrapped because of this.
Did you watch most of those World Cup qualifiers?
Yes, I did.
Were you really sitting comfortably anytime the opponents were attacking us?
The whole backline is shambles. The whole backline from the defenders to this thing. So none of them are confident enough.
And you think the experience of Enyeama would not make a difference? Don't forget, when we won the Nations Cup, listen, let me land. When we won the Nations Cup in 2013, do not forget that we had rookies in our defense. All due respect to them. Omero, Obabuna.
Yes, and they performed.
They performed.
Yes,
but don't you think
because they were given the chance.
Don't you think that the experience of a goalkeeper such as Enyeama was pivotal? Don't forget it was the standing captain, because our main captain was largely on the bench in that tournament. He captained the side. And the confidence that comes from him help those young guys. You need a goalkeeper that can command his box.
I think because Enyeama has been playing consistently, he was already in the team. He was there. He could talk to those young players. But now you can't just bring him 6 months after when the team has moved past him.
The team has not moved past Enyeama.
2 years after.
You keep saying this word, the move has moved past him. How do you mean?
Because he has not played for a long while. 2 years is a long time to move past a player.
No, he has been playing 2 years out of the Super Eagles.
Out of the Super Eagles.
But he's been active. The only time Enyeama has not played is between August and now. We're talking about the period when he has been injured.
Imagine a world-class European team not having a player for 6 months.
Do you know what it means for a professional footballer to be injured? It does not mean he's totally out of training.
Yes, but
the point is not fit for a match situation.
You can't just bring him in just like that.
But it does not mean he's been sitting idle.
He's going to go to the World Cup straight.
He's not going to the World Cup straight. If Enyeama has any chance of going to the World Cup,
so after
it's because Genot Rohr knows that he will be fit before the World Cup.
If Enyeama is coming
and before the World Cup,
should be as a sub
listen to me, before the World Cup, the Super Eagles had at least 6 friendly matches, which the NFF has announced.
6 is not enough to bring a player after 2 years into your squad.
6 is more than enough.
It's not enough to
bring
a player
more than enough.
To your squad.
If you are telling me that Rohr, that has only kept 45 minutes for the Super Eagles, he kept 45 minutes in a game. Calm down. He has not been. That's the only time he has gotten a call up to the Super Eagles against Argentina. That's the only time. I stand to be corrected, but that's the only time. He has gotten a call up. He has not been there. The goalkeepers that has been there, if you are really going to talk about being there, would be Akpeyi and Ezewa. Any other goalkeeper aside of that has been in and out.
But Enyeama in 2002 against Kenya kept only 45 minutes and was taken to the World Cup.
That is the point I am making, Solomon. Enyeama did not keep only 45 minutes, kept 90 minutes against Kenya.
No, 45 minutes. He came in the second half.
Who kept the first half?
Somebody else kept the first half.
No, Ejide has been keeping the other friendly matches.
Yeah, but that particular match against Kenya, it was half-time. Half-time. He was brought in half-time.
I won't argue with you, Solomon.
No, because I was in commentaries for that match.
Calm down.
It's just that I don't remember because
why do you want to give Uzor the same chance?
Because we have given that to our old player Enyeama, and he has become a legend.
The scenarios are different. Should I educate you?
It is the same scenario.
There's a precedent
before there is no precedent.
No, Enyeama kept one half.
It is not the same, Solomon. It's not. Enyeama was keeping in the Nigerian Professional League, not called the MPFL then, of course, the Professional League. And it was first choice for Enyeama.
Okay.
Yes.
Which was a top club in Nigeria. So it was first choice. It was always second. That's one. Two, Enyeama was part of the friendly match against Scotland. It was part of the friendly match against Ireland. It was in the team. Yes, his chance came in the last friendly in Nigeria. 45, 90 minutes, his chance came in that game, and he took it. True or false? And don't also forget.
Uzoho took his chance as well against Argentina.
Don't also forget. Don't also forget.
He looked calmer.
Let me
Uzoho looked calmer on the ball.
He looked calmer. He's in perfect shape.
In 45 minutes.
But let me tell you something about Uzoho.
No, let me land. No,
you're not flying. But you're not flying.
In 45 minutes, Uzoho proved that he was better than Enyeama.
Despite proving himself against Kenya, Enyeama did not go. And this is the point I hear. Did not go to the 2002 World Cup as the first choice. He was actually, till date, we don't even know if it was the second or third. The number one was the
number one was the Kesho.
But we are saying here that this World Cup, we need a first choice. And you are saying Uzoho should be.
Until Enyeama.
And that's the argument.
He could be.
It is not possible. Unless we are jokers here, unless we are not ready to make a serious claim at the World Cup. Are you going to the World Cup?
We want to make a serious claim at the World Cup, and our backline is not sorted out perfectly.
What?
We still have
Tell me what is not sorted out about the backline.
Leon Balogun is a shaky defender, and we need other players that can.
You see, I'm not going to go to that debate with you because I'm not really here to debate Leon Balogun. But to even say they are shaky, I think it's an insult to the whole of those guys. So the four guys at that back. You are saying Chio Abdullah is shaky. You are saying Trusekong is shaky. You are saying Leon Balogun is shaky. And you are telling me
he didn't say that. He said Leon Balogun.
He said our backline. What makes up the backline? You're talking about the right full back, left full back.
He mentioned Leon Balogun.
Okay,
the keepers, the defenders,
the keepers.
The keepers.
Uzoho is one of the keepers.
Uzoho has been the best we have seen in just
45 minutes.
We're able to,
and he's a football-playing goalkeeper because he used to be a player before he was converted to a goalkeeper.
Over 5 matches, 6 matches.
You see,
and we are not sure about it.
What you just said, permit me to use this example, Solomon. What you just said is like somebody celebrating that Van Dijk scored for Liverpool when he was actually brought in to come and stop them from conceding goals. He's a goalkeeper. Is he going to score goals at the World Cup? We say go and come and score.
Modern European football, we need players who can use their legs.
He's a ball-playing goalkeeper.
We need goalkeepers.
Our coach is Genot and not Pep Guardiola. So we care less whether he knows how to play football. What we want is come and keep go.
Correct in modern football.
What is the correct?
Able to play with your legs.
In modern football?
You need to be able to play with your legs. Goalkeepers need to be able to join the game. You must
draft from the same cup like Pep Guardiola for you to have said that.
See,
Mourinho will tell you
football. Mourinho follower,
but Mourinho believes in that philosophy.
Football has evolved past this thing. Vincent Enyeama.
Football has evolved past Vincent Enyeama, a goalkeeper for Lille of France.
Your closing remark. Let's have your closing remark.
Enyeama has been quite off of late, even from last time Super Eagles. I can't say Enyeama is the perfect goalkeeper for us. Nigeria's Super Eagles need to move past those young players. We are trying to do that with this young player. So we need to show this confidence in the young players and the young goalkeepers also by installing them and giving them chances. This is a new generation of Nigerian football team, so we need to follow that and show them confidence. And that is how they'll perform and give us their best performances that are yet to come.
Your closing remark.
Well, at some stage in our lives, we will have taken up challenges, and I believe so much in that. But I do not see how a youngster can become a superstar if there is no shoulder to perch on. I believe Uzoho is a promising goalkeeper. The same thing for Ezenwa, Alampasu, Ajiboye. I'm not going to mention Akboye in that picture for some reason. And the shoulder all these goalkeepers need to perch on is the broad shoulder of Enyeama. His presence in the team will only bode well for them, cannot work against them. Enyeama had that chance with Ikesho Umo. Ikesho Umo had that chance with the likes of Willie Okpara and Peter Rufai and the likes. Why do we want to deny these young goalkeepers the opportunity to also perch on a successful shoulder as that of Enyeama? I think that's something we need to think about. Enyeama is still our best bet going to this World Cup.
Well, that sounds like a philosopher, sports analyst, or a philosopher, football analyst, as we have philosopher kings. Well, it's been, well, exhilarating debate, calm argument by Damilola Onifade here, who believes that Enyeama is still vital to the Super Eagles, rather than the younger goalkeepers like Francis Rohr or Ikechukwu Ezenwa or Dele Alampasu, whom Adidayo Olawi here is rooting for. He is rooting particularly for Francis Rohr. But who do you think? Do you think that Genot Rohr should continue the pressure on Vincent Enyeama to return to the Super Eagles? Well, maybe not. The coach doesn't have a lot of confidence in the younger goalkeepers. But if Enyeama doesn't come, he will have to make use of those goalkeepers. So what do you think? Should he continue the pressure? You can be part of our discussion by sending your tweets to me at Sporting Solo TVC or at TVC News, NG, or better still, at TVC Connect, hashtag TVC Sports Debate. It's been a nice time here. Until we come your way again next time, enjoy the rest of your day.